want to move to a candidate who is making a lot of news this week,
Right.
Donald Trump. He said some pretty controversial things about Mexican immigrants. He said they bring drugs, crime, and rapists. He's actually gotten himself in some problems with some of his business dealings as a result of this. Do you agree or disagree with his comments, and do you think that they were harmful to the Republican race and the Republican field?
I think that his comments are actually slightly different from what you just said. And I actually heard on the radio today him saying what he was talking about is illegal immigrants. And that's an incredibly important distinction to draw. Look, I think his tone and the words he chose are different from what I would choose. But the fact is, when you have a broken immigration system, it's hard to characterize the nature of the illegal immigrants that come into our country. That being said, I, for one, believe that immigration is a wonderful part of our history. It's a part of our history that I embrace. And I think it's a part of our economy that we really have to get right. And right now it's broken. And I think that what President Obama has done with these executive orders have actually made the system worse. And we destroyed the ability to get some kind of bipartisan compromise on the steps we need to take out of Congress. So I think it is easy for people to attack Donald Trump over what he said. I think they ought to listen to what he's saying. I actually know Donald Trump. He is not a racist. He is trying to characterize the fact that a broken immigration system can lead to a lot of problems like crime if you don't know what's happening. And the challenge I would give back to his critics are, do we actually know everything about this population that we think we know, this illegal population? Because we ought to know. I, for one, think that we ought to embrace all of those folks who can actually make America stronger, make America better, and help grow our economy. And that's kind of the filter I put it through.
I'm curious about your thoughts in terms of Trump as a candidate.
Right.
We seem to have gone through this a couple of presidential cycles where he's made noise, but this time he's actually in the race.
Right.
It's a very crowded field. There are some people who wonder if it creates almost a circus-like atmosphere because of his proclivities for statements that gather a lot of attention. Is he a good voice to have in the GOP primary debate at this point?
Yeah, I think there's a clique. There's a political clique in Republican and conservative circles. Some people are in the clique, and some people are outside the clique. Donald Trump is definitely iconoclastic, and he's outside the clique. He's not the candidate that a lot of people that work on Republican campaigns would probably favor. But he resonates with a lot of Americans. It's undeniable that what he's saying is working out there in the country, if you even look at the polls that have come out. So, look, he has his own way. He has his own words. I don't agree with everything he's saying. Like I said, I think the tone on questions of immigration, I think we should be a lot more careful. And I think it leads to people drawing false conclusions. That being said, Susan brought up the American Conservative Union is the group that I chair. And it's a union, not in the sense of a labor union, but it's a political coalition. And what the right has to do is string together everybody from the center all the way to the right part of politics and bring them together if we hope to be successful in the presidential election. It would be a massive mistake for the Republican Party to start to kick people out and ostracize them. We are not going to win presidential elections that way. The left has taught this over and over. The left has all kinds of strident voices that care about single issues, and they string them together, including a lot of other, mainstream Americans, and they've been very successful at the presidential level. We should be able to do that on the right.